Hello, hello, hello. One came in and left, looks like. Come on in. If you are there, say hello, where you're coming in from. Hello, hello, hello. Hope this is working. Hello, hello. If you're just joining, say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. You're just joining. Let me know if you're here. Hello. Desert Nana, is that your name? What's your name? I know sometimes the usernames are different on YouTube versus other social medias. Oh, Mary Beth. Okay. Can you hear me okay? I think this is the first time I've done it through YouTube. I guess you can hear me okay if you answered my question. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think people are slowly coming in. Slowly, slowly. I'm not used to this setup with my laptop. I'm used to my phone, so this is different. I'm going to have to figure out how to get you all to see. Yeah, you'll be able to see. Got you propped up on something here just for now. How's it going today, Mary Beth? The weather has actually gotten nice here. It is 60 today. Oh my gosh, it is so nice outside. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're coming in, say hello. Let me know you're here. I'm not sure if this is a good time, if this is a bad time. Oh, that's good. When I did one of my first lives on Patreon, I did it this time, and it seemed to be a pretty good time. I had quite a few people in there, but I did it over on Patreon because I had issues with the YouTube. So I hope that's not like an issue. And I joined early because I didn't know if it was going to work. So it looks like it's working. I've got so much stuff here to show you guys. So much stuff. My desk is overflowing. And you know what? If it's just you and me, Mary Beth, that's okay too. One of my diehards. My goodness, I have so much stuff. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about doing that more over there. I've been in here for 10 minutes. What time is it? It's 1:10. Let's just go for it, Mary Beth. Whoever shows up, shows up. I need a new table. I think I've got to let the drafting table go. So if it gets shaky, I'm so sorry. Let's just do it. So I get so many questions about my journals and layering and paper and how do you come up with those ideas and where do you get the paper from and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would do a video about it, and I should probably just do a live over on TikTok because it seems like there's so many more people over there. But I'm doing it for Patreon because I've got all these ideas for the year about art journaling and different prompts for each month. And I thought I would start with the paper because I get so many questions about the paper and the backgrounds. And where do you get your paper? And how do you do the backgrounds? What kind of glue do you use? And I've touched on it here and there. So I thought I would just share real quick. I got out my Behemoth journal and I thought I would show examples because I always get questions Like, this is what I'm talking about here. Like these backgrounds that I do, like over here, how I build up the background. And then like, here's another one. Like this is like one of my favorites. I usually do like black and white background. And then I think I have another one. And then this is one where I don't take up the whole page, where I just do it like in the middle. But I still use the black and white papers to build the background. So today I'm just talking about the papers. I'm not really talking about like composition and how to do the whole thing. It's just the papers. And then another example, these are some little collages that I did. Oops. And again, like that's the background, how I build up with a bunch of different papers in the background. And then here's another one. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is how I do the backgrounds. So I get all that out of the way. So first I'm going to talk about paper and where I get all my paper. Number one, book pages, old books. And I know this is like controversial with some people because, and I've actually gotten comments about this on some other platforms, like, how dare you tear up a book? How dare you tear apart a book? Well, I did some research and I have a little fun fact here. 320 million books go to the landfill every year. So I feel like as artists, journalers, collagers, junk journalers, we're saving them and reusing. So we're saving the books. So I not only have like, book pages, but then from books, like images. I like black and white images. So it's just book pages. And, it might be an image like this. And then I'll tear it up. I know, Mary Beth, they get so touchy about it. So like, this is a good image. And like, I might just tear out bits from that image and put it in the collage. So that's one thing, which I wanted to save this one. So book pages. That's one. And I'm just dropping on the floor because I reorganized this whole bin of my papers yesterday. The next thing is tissues. So plain tissue paper. If you've been around for a minute, sewing patterns. I love sewing patterns because you get like these really great lines and arrows and numbers. So sewing patterns. And I have this whole stash of this tissue paper. This is actually from Brighton, the jewelry store. And I love this place. And so whenever I get a gift from here, from somebody, I save the tissue paper. And actually for Christmas this year, my son had gotten something from Brighton for a couple of the women in the family. And I was over there like snatching the tissue paper out of the bags because I love this tissue paper. I use this probably in every single collage that I do. Then another one of my favorites is envelopes that you get in the mail, whether it's the actual envelope that the mail came in, or then, if it's a bill, then you get the return envelope. So I always save these because, you get some really neat patterns from envelopes. So that's another thing. Papers. Another source is digital downloads. You can go to Etsy. I have started to try to create my own digital downloads, but this is from someone online. This is their digital downloads. If anyone's been around a while, Collage Soup, they have great pages to use in your collages. So I have tons of their papers. And let's see. Then I have paper napkins. Now, I kind of just learned this recently from the junk journaling community. And of course, I had to get black and white because I like black and white for my backgrounds. So paper napkins. I've heard a lot of people doing stuff with paper napkins, but I never really thought about it with a journal. So I just started doing it this year. So paper napkins. Doilies. I love doilies. And these, I think I got on Amazon. So they came in a pack. So you got ovals, circles, big circles, and these big rectangles. And I just rip them up and use them in my collages. So I love the doilies because they just give some extra texture and stuff. Music sheets. This is from, I actually got this off Marketplace. There was somebody selling like a huge box of music sheet books. And so music sheets, I love these. Then I think I found these at Michael's. They were just some little cutouts. They're a little bit thicker because they're like cardstock, but you could surely use these. This is another one of my favorites is Tim Holtz tissue papers. And I have tons of these because I love tissue paper. I love how it gives you the see-through effect. These come in packs, paper packs like this. And what I love about his stuff, like he always shows you what's in the pack. So you'll see what you're getting. And then he also had these rolls. I don't know if you can still get these. I got these at Joann's and they just come on a roll and the pattern just repeats. And then they came in a little plastic tube. And then of course, when we lost Joann's, I try to find them at Michael's. I can't always find them there. Amazon, I found them on Etsy too. So I love the Tim Holtz tissue papers. I love these. I think I got these on Amazon too. They're falling apart because I've used them so much, but they're called Dictionary Library Series and they go A to Z. So it's like this one's A through B, this one's T through Z, but they're just little words with definitions. And I love these. So I use these too. And let's see what else. This, I got this off of, I like Arches watercolor paper because it's really thick and sturdy. And yes, I love it, Mary Beth. And this is actually from the cover of the watercolor paper. So I just cut this out because it's black and white. And let's see, my last thing that I use in my collages is I just use my own stuff. So I make a collage in my art journal and then I make a Xerox copy and then I can cut this up and use it again and again and again. I have digital downloads that I made from previous Patreon months. Like I think this was October. We had the leaves. So I have those. And then I've started doing this year. This is called Japanese rice paper. I don't know who makes it. You can get it on Amazon. It's maybe just one step up from tissue paper, I think. But I just stamp my own patterns. I take stencils or stamps and I make my own papers. Because sometimes I just can't find what I want. So I just make my own. I love it too. And then I'll Xerox those. So then I have more papers. So that's one of the, if you can't find papers or you're short, just make your own. And you can use tissue paper for that too. It doesn't have to be rice paper. And I love numbers in my work. So I take that rice paper and I just stamp numbers on there. And so I have this whole little box of numbers. So those are the papers that I use. So you can get old books and stuff at estate sales, yard sales, thrift stores. There's people on Etsy who sell old books. But you can just get papers everywhere. So now I'm going to show you how I collage. So I have a stack here of pretty much everything I just showed you. These are all scraps that I had. And this is another reason I had to clean out my little bin because I was on overload scrap. Oh, and another thing, paper towels. I learned this before I learned about napkins. So, and I just drew on here with some watercolor pencils, but it's the same concept. You peel the paper towel and then you can just rip this and then use this in your collage. And again, this gives more texture. If that's what you're looking for, if you like the texture, that's another way to get texture. So now let's talk about paper. So I have two pads here. I have a mixed media pad and a watercolor pad. I usually use watercolor that is 140-pound cold pressed. Yeah, this one does say cold press. Okay. And I usually use Arches watercolor paper because I like the thickness of it. And I don't know, it's just more sturdy to me. I find kind of when I use these other brands, they buckle or they wrinkle, but I don't seem to have that problem with the Arches. But I'm just going to use these now because I don't have any Arches. So I'm going to take a page out of the watercolor one and out of the mixed media one. The mixed media one is smoother. It doesn't have any tooth to it, which, I mean, it's fine. It's just to show you the different ways that you can collage. And of course, I collage straight into my journal also. So I'm going to just show you that. Adhesives. There's different ways to do this depending on how you're working, or, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're doing it in a journal or just on paper. Glue sticks. There's the Oohoo glue sticks, which I don't have right now. And this is the Tombow mono glue stick, which I've been leaning more towards this one. I was on the Oohoo kick for a while, but now I'm back over to the Tombow. The double-sided adhesive runners, you can use these. You can use Mod Podge, and you can use golden regular gel matte medium, which this is my favorite. I probably use this in everything. And this is the one of the other big questions I get. And I have a YouTube video out there on my channel, and it's called Art Journaling Adhesives. It's all about different adhesives. But when I started art journaling, like almost 20 years ago, I learned from people who they used golden, and it's just kind of stuck with me. So that's what I use. And it just helps. I just find it helps like to use a brush. And when I have the tissue papers, because they're so thin and they tear. So I just feel like with a brush, I can get more coverage. Sometimes I miss that when I'm using these other things. So that's just what I use. So basically what I do, and let's see if we can try to bring this down a little bit. So you're looking at that. You're not going to see me anymore. I'm sorry. Well, you're seeing some of me. So I'm going to use this watercolor one first. And basically what I do, I always have a jar of water nearby. As you can see, it's dirty. But because I was using it the other day. I'm horrible about cleaning my stuff out. So I have no rhyme or reason. This is another thing. And I just got this question the other day on TikTok. They were like, how do you plan it out, or do you just put stuff down? I just put stuff down. When I just want to have a background ready to go, I just put stuff down. I don't think about it. So this is an image from Collage Soup. So I'm just going to go ahead and I just go all over it, and I slather this on like you're putting a sunblock on or something. I just douse it on there because I want to make sure it's all covered. And I just start putting it down. And then what I usually like to do is kind of just like go on the edges just to make sure the edges won't come up. And I usually go over the whole thing because I just want to make sure there's no bubbles. And again, if you like glue stick, oh, who's here? Lisa, welcome. I thought it was just me and Mary Beth chilling. I just talked about all the different type of papers I use. So if you need me to go back over that at the end, I can do that. But right now I'm just showing how I put papers down and make a background. And I'm just using, if I can put this in, see, I just have a stash right here. And I just go through and I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? Now, if I was doing a collage with a main focal point, I would probably be a little bit more intentional about what I was putting down. But right now, I'm just building up the background. So I'm just putting whatever down. Now, I usually use black and white when I know that I'm probably going to add color, whether it's with paint or watercolor or whatever. So just going in here, I'm adding a music sheet down, a scrap from a music paper, because I love those. Let's see here. We've got, like I said, something from Collage Soup. Oh, Angela, hello, welcome, welcome. I'm just building a background. I'm doing my black and white background. And I'm just going to go over the top there where I ripped it. I mean, who knows? I might use the whole thing. So that's the only downside with gel medium or Mod Podge. If you know, you'll get bubbles. So you've got to smooth it out. You won't have that problem with glue sticks probably as much as you will with some type of glue like this. Let's see what else we have here. Let's use this. Now, what I say there's no rhyme or reason, but like this is very dark and this is very dark. So now I'm going to take some words and I'm probably going to put light things over it. So there is a little bit of contrast and it's not so dark. So I don't have a collage that's just more black than white. So I'm just going to go right over that. And you can also use, I don't have it near me, but if you have like a scraper or like an old card and you can, you can smooth out the bubbles, but you kind of got to do it while it's wet or you'll probably tear your paper. So you got to be careful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Angela. If that's your name, I hope that's your name. I know that sometimes people's YouTube names are different. Let's see. So I'm going to use some of that. Remember I said the patterns from the envelopes from your mail, your junk mail. It's like instant collage paper, instant scrapbook paper, those envelopes. So like always save your junk mail and stuff, or those envelopes at least. Not that we really pay bills like mail in anymore, but the minute I see those bills, those envelopes, I take them. And then I think this rose, I think I'm gonna put this flower up here, or it's not a rose, but it's some type of flower. So are you all working? Are you taking your lunch break to watch this? I hope it wasn't a bad time for you guys. I'm going to do another envelope piece here. Let me know. Let me know if I need to adjust the time, because I mean, I don't mind doing that. I'm at home, so I can do that. I picked Wednesday because I know a lot of other people go live on like Tuesdays and Thursdays and stuff. So I picked Wednesday. So this is where we're looking so far. Let's see. This is a piece, I think I got this from Leah at Thrifty Day when she sent me a mailing. I think this was maybe from, was that Glamoween? I don't know, but I've been holding on to this one little scrap because I love that paper so much. I wish I knew where she got those bags from. So I'm just going to use that maybe over here on this side. I'm finally going to use it. I'm going to let it go. I mean, we can't save these scraps forever, can we? I'm going to stick that one right over here. Lunch break, and so you're listening, watching while you working, but work remote. So, oh, that's good. Okay. That's what my husband does. Like, I mean, I would watch things when I worked from home. I mean, I'm at home, but when I had a job, I would watch things while I worked. And my husband is back in the office now, and I think he still tries to watch things when he goes in. So, in here, let's see, this is from the rice paper. This is one of my little stencil things I did. So we'll put that on here. I'm trying to use like one of everything that I showed you, if I can. This is from Collage Soup. We'll stick this over here. Okay, here's some of this Tim Holtz tissue paper. So I think this will look good over here by the dark. Let me bring it down so you can see. Yeah, right when I scheduled this, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to set up my camera and everything, but then I couldn't access my live through my phone app. So I had to do it on my laptop. So that's why my laptop is like bent down. It's okay. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it all out. Okay, I'm going to leave this little piece up here, and then I'll show you like what I usually do with my tissues and stuff. Okay, so this is where we're at. Oh, that's probably not good. Sorry. So let's see what else we have in the pile. Okay, I'm going to use some of that Brighten tissue because I just love it. It's my favorite. And so I have an empty spot right here, but I'm just going to let it go over stuff I already did. So now this is where we come into the layering. Like, I don't mind if tissue papers, well, I don't mind if anything goes over anything, but specifically with the tissue papers, it's like, is there something under there that I still want you to see? That's when I'll be mindful with the tissue papers. If I don't really care, then I'll just put it down. Oh, see, I got a bubble in there. That means I didn't put enough glue down. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it back up. Oh, I got it back up. I didn't have a glue enough in the middle there. Sorry if you just heard that. That's my rooster out there. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's see what else I have here. Oh, paper bags. Yes, yes, yes. Paper bags. Yes, you know what? I just ordered some, I don't know if I have it readily available. Let me see. This is I have a black and white bin of papers, and then I have, these are more like yellowed. I call them like more my antique papers because they're kind of yellowed, you can see the difference. So I keep like yellowed antique papers and then black and white papers. But I just wanted to show you this. Sorry for getting distracted. It's not really a bag, but I guess it's tissue paper. And I ordered from Stencils, from Stencil Girl products. And they took this tissue paper and they made it look like an envelope. And then they stamp their logo on the front. It's very faint. But when you said bag, that's what made me think of that. So I saved it when I got the stencils. Of course, I had to save it, right? I think that's what this little black and white thing from Leah was. I think this was a bag. I think this was a paper bag. And that was the last little scrap I had of it. I found this. This was from Collage Soup, and it's an A. So I thought I might stick that on here for today. And this is actually good because I'm actually using up some of my scraps. I have so many. Here's another envelope. I love this pattern because it's like confetti or sprinkles or something. I had to figure out a way to store them, Lisa, because I had so many papers. And I went to Michael's one day and I was looking at those storage systems, which I was kind of always anti those things because I was like, everybody has those. I want something like unique. And I finally got to the point where I need a way to store all these papers. So I buckled down and got one of those it's a white shelf. And I have a whole bunch of those little bins for all my papers. I mean, and I know some people say like, you should keep your papers out. You should keep it so you can see what you have. That's why I like those because they're clear and you can see, well, you can kind of see what's in there. A big stack of papers. Let's see. I think I'm going to do another music thing down here. Stick this down here. Let's see, what else do we have? This is another Collage Soup paper, which I have so many of those. Like I cannot buy anything else from them right now. I have so many books and ebook downloads that I bought from last year. I can't. I've got to use what I have. Let's see, this is another one of those Tim Holtz. Yep, that's true. Clear storage. And it's actually funny that we're talking about that. I'm going to put this down under here because yesterday I got a text from my stepmother and she sent me like this YouTube video on how to make storage for your craft room out of like, those old plastic crates. Like milk crates or something. I remember them from like school. And I guess you made storage out of them. It was like a DIY thing. And she's like, oh, I thought of this for you for your craft room. And I was like, oh, thanks. But I was like, and the way they did them, like they covered them up and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. But I didn't tell her, but I thought to myself, I can't see anything. I could do that, but then I can't see what's in them. Okay, now I'm going to, now I said on the supply list on my Patreon that you could use scissors. I put that on the supply list. Obviously, I don't use them. I tear. I'm a terror. So, not like scary terror. So I'm just going to do that right along the bottom, that doily right there. So let's see. Oh, I don't think I got enough in there. And so there we go. Now this up here, there's still some space around there. This is when I want to completely fill a page and I don't want any space left. So now this is when I would do like one of those sewing pattern pages. Let's see here. So this one has, I thought I had another one. I might have already. So there's like these random words and stuff. Do I have a good one here? Let me see. I gotta bend over. Yeah, this is what I want to show you. So like on this sewing pattern, see, I like that arrow there. So I'm just going to go like right over that, and then I'll still be able to see the dots underneath. That's what I love about the sewing patterns, because they have like these dotted lines and these arrows, and like they're so neat to use. So I'm just going to go right over that. So I get the arrow, and then I can still see everything I did underneath. And then I typically just kind of like run off the pages, and then I can just go through. So you can see this is a piece of watercolor paper. And so it's pretty thick already. And then when you add like a collage on it, it makes it even thicker. So I'll just cut off where I had like excess. I usually flip it over so I can see. Unless you're making something where you want a bunch of stuff hanging off, that's fine too. So there we go. That is how I do one of my collages when I fill up the entire page. And so you can see with the tissue, you can still kind of see what's underneath. Here was the tissue paper down here from Tim Holtz. So you can still see, and that looks really neat, like with that doily over there like that. And then that corner up at the top. See, I love that arrow. And so now something like this, because it's not in my journal, like I might just make it into, oh, thank you guys. I might just make it into a piece of art, like one of these, you know, I'll find a focal point and add some color to it and just make this a piece of art. Or if it was in my journal, I'd do the same thing. So, or let me come back up to me. I can scan it, and then I can make copies of it, and then I'll have my own papers. Like I showed you on the printouts. Let me see if I have. Like this is one of my journal pages, and it's just a photocopy. So I could take this, make photocopies, and just cut them up, and then you have papers. Like you don't have to go source papers. You've just like made your own background papers. Or I'll cut this up. And if you see my videos over on TikTok, like that's how I make the ATCs and the bookmarks. You know, I'll have one thing like this and I'll cut it up into the little squares and make the ATCs, or I'll cut it into the strips and make the bookmarks. So you can do all kinds of things with this. You know, you can also, like when this gets dry, like these can be your pages in a journal, you know? So that's why I just like doing this kind of collage. I just like the background that it gives you. Another thing I was going to show you that needs to dry. That's the thing about the gel medium. It has to dry. Oh, and we forgot our little paper towel. Let's see how that glues down. I haven't done paper towel in a while. It's just like napkin, but with a paper towel, you know, you get the pattern. You can see, you get a pattern on the paper towel, and then you can put whatever you want on the paper towel. You can stamp it. And it's the same thing. You have to peel it apart. I just kind of doodled on it and then put a brush on it. So there you go. It just adds another little element of texture. Yes. And you can even, I mean, you don't have to do black and white. You can do this with, you know, a bunch of things like from Collage Soup or colored things, scrapbook paper. Just, what is it? They call it masterboard. They do the masterboard thing, and just do a bunch of collage on here and then make that a journal page thing, you know? And this is another thing. Where are we on time? This is just mixed media paper, another type of substrate. Another thing I like to do, and this is what I did a bunch of my YouTube videos with, pretty much every collage. It's this double-sided adhesive. So right now, I don't have the brand that I like. Yes, it would, Lisa. I just saw somebody making some little Valentine ATCs on TikTok, and I was like, ooh, backgrounds. But what's it called? I had to write it down. It's called Graphics Double Tack Mounting Film. Sorry, I feel like there we go. You can get it on Amazon, but I have not been able to order it there. The past couple months, it's like out of stock. But I get it from Dick Blick, and it comes in a pack of 3, 9x12 sheets. And I don't have any of that right now. So I went to a local craft store and I found some different types of double-sided adhesive paper. And so what I do is it's the same thing. Like I make a little collage on there. You just peel it off, right? It's a sheet. And so I put some papers down on one side, and then you peel off the other side. Let's see. See, it's kind of neat. You can see your other side through it. And so now it's like you have a sticker. And then you can just stick it down. So let's see, I'll stick it on this paper. See? So it's like I had a collage sticker. So just whatever kind of double-sided adhesive paper is this? I think this is too. Because when I went to that craft store, they didn't have the graphics brand. So I had to use what they had. Yeah, this is double-sided too. This is called Altenew. I don't know. And then this was what they had. So I just needed it quick in a hurry to do a project. So that's why I didn't order it online. But you can find this stuff online. But it's super, I love how you can do stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I do my backgrounds. Do you guys have any questions about the papers or anything? Did y'all need me to go back and show any of those papers? I didn't do paper napkin on there. I'll probably keep going with this little pile I have here so I can get rid of it. I found these at Michael's yesterday. I was in a mad rush because I was like, I want to show them napkins because I know everybody uses napkins. So, and lo and behold, in the birthday aisle, because I was like, where am I going to find black and white napkins? In the birthday aisle, they had napkins. Black and white. So let's see. I didn't do any of this napkin. Let's see. Put this down. Uh-oh. I'm already messing it up. There we go. Napkin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My 3 whole viewers that are here, I appreciate you. Do you guys have any questions about the papers? Do you need me to show you anything? Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention. If you don't like tearing, I mean, if you like to cut and you like all clean edges, that's probably how my son would do it. He likes clean edges. But these rulers, like you can rip with a ruler, you know, if you have the paper and you want a straight line, that's an easy way to tear. Or these rulers with these deckled edges. So you get, I mean, it looks like a tear line, but if you like to use those rulers, I got these off Amazon too. They have all kinds of different edges. If you're looking for, if you want a specific type of edge on your paper. Yeah, and you know what? I don't know why I've never ripped with a ruler. I don't know why I've not thought I don't know. I just tear and cut. It wasn't until I saw someone on live doing one of their journal spreads with the rulers, probably Rena. And I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been using a ruler all this time? And that's where I actually heard of those rulers, was from her. So the only thing about gel medium, it gets all over your fingers and it looks like your skin is peeling off. You've really got to scrub your hands. But I don't mind because I like how it looks. So I think that's it. That's all I have for today for layering papers. And like I said at the beginning, on my Patreon, I have for the whole year, I'm just going to keep going down this path, you know, of just showing kind of how I add color, how to do mark making, how to pick a focal point, and, you know, use the focal point in your art. So it's kind of going to be all about how I do this whole process. So you are welcome. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, let me know. You all know where to find me. I'm everywhere. I didn't start with any background. I just started with a plain white piece of paper. I was using this watercolor paper because it's 140 pound, so it's a little bit thicker. So it seems to take the gel medium better, watercolor paper. But then this paper here, this is just plain white. This is the mixed media paper. I've never used the mixed media, so I thought I'd try it and see. So these are the ones that I used. And you can use any watercolor paper, any brand. But I just start with plain white paper. But to have some type of thickness, not just copy paper out of your printer, something with a little, this is a little bit thicker than cardstock, the mixed media paper. So yeah. Any other questions? You are welcome, Lisa. I don't see any other questions. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. This was fun. I love doing this. And if you do something, let me know. I think I have a chat out there on my Patreon, or if you're out on Instagram or TikTok, tag me. I want to see it. I love when people, when we do each other's processes and stuff and share it. So I will see you guys later. I think that's, yeah, we hit about an hour. I didn't want to go beyond that, just in case someone was watching during work or lunch or whatever. I didn't want to go super long. So I guess we will wrap it up today, and I will see you next time. Okay. Bye.